And James came over and he said, "What is all over your car?" So it's like this weird chemical, ashy, which is part of it, type stuff just all over the windshield and stuff. There have been reports coming out from news stations and from weather stations, even here locally. First it was the mud rain. Some of you are going to say this is normal. Things like this happen all the time. I totally agree with you. I'm not freaking out. Think of all the things that are put into the sky. Obviously, if we have massive storms of some sort, kick up the dust, right? Obviously that can flow our way and fall on top of our heads. Well, then you also have to consider all of the fires that we're seeing that are just, how are all these places catching on fire like this other than deliberately? Holy moly. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. It is registering 78 degrees at 1:33. Gosh, it's not even St. Patrick's Day. Maybe we'll have a nice St. Patrick's Day coming. Come here. Come over here to me and give me a hug. Come here and love on me. Welcome back to the channel. I may have to move the car one time because the sun is right here, as you can see, and I'm like, so when it starts coming in on my face and I'm burning up, I may move. So I'm just letting you know. Okay, listen, come here. How's your listening comprehension skills? How are they going? How are they going these days? What are you seeing from people? What about you? How's you, your spouse, your kids, your family, your friends, people in general? It's not so good, is it? I mean, you're probably rocking it out, right? Because you're a responsible adult. But are you seeing a lot of people actually like listen anymore? No, they don't. So here's what I want to say to you real quick, because we're not gonna make a big deal about this, because we've already moved on, and I'm not doing this with my channel. When I make a video, and listen, I'm not mad at you. I'm just speaking to the handful of people out there that probably won't even listen to this, but just let me know. This is that moment of you go, at least I know I did this. Moms do this, we do this. You're like, at least I know I said it. Did you hear me? Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always in mama mode, right? So I made the video on Sunday about the sludge trough that we had over here. And I just want you to know that video is around 19 minutes and some seconds long. If you didn't listen to the whole thing, well, you may have had good reason to not listen. Maybe you had to go to church or something. I don't know what your deal was. I oftentimes listen to several people that their videos might be 20 plus minutes, and I can only listen to the first 11. And when I get to a point where I'm distracted or I can't listen, I pause it and I come back to it as best I can. This happens. We're busy. You're busy. You should be very, very busy right now. The issue with that video, and I've said this many times before, I've tried to point this out as an epidemic. People don't listen, and people don't have an opinion unless they are told what they're supposed to think. That's a lot of people these days. And I want you to know that I've looked at that video very closely, and the average person that listened to that video stopped listening at 6 minutes and 50 seconds. I took a screenshot of it. At 6 minutes, I looked at all the analytics. At 6 minutes and 50 seconds, that's where people got to that and they stopped. That's on every video. That's not abnormal, so I don't want you to think that it is. Let's move. Roll with me, baby. You want to roll with me? If you love me, act like you know me. We're rolling, baby. Okay. I did not start, and this is what is so freaking funny. Freaking funny. I did not start talking to you specifically about what we were seeing and that until 6 minutes and 53 seconds. So if you only listened and halfway watched it up until 6:50, you missed the whole enchilada, now didn't you? Mm-hmm. You did, honey. You sure did. Give me a hug. I know you need some bless your heart right now, right? I'm going to give it to you. We're going to do it this time. I'm not going to go back and repeat myself with what I say in that video. when people are adults. They have internet, they have cell phones, iPhones, their mama, they have things that I can't even, all kinds of computer stuff that I wouldn't even know how to operate. And if they're not willing to put forth the time to listen and to consider and to think, which is what that video is about, that's not my problem. This is what I'm trying to get to. People in this world, maybe not you, the majority of you, but there are people in this world that deliberately, they just don't feel like they have to pay attention anymore. They just don't. At this point, I think they do it almost out of spite. It's like, I don't have to do this. They want to be recognized as an adult. This is an adult channel with adult content. When I upload my videos, I have to choose whether or not children, who's it targeted for? Targeted for, it's adults, it's not children. I purposely say no children. I sure do. So that means I'm talking to adults. Now, I don't know what you consider an adult anymore, but I can tell you that the demographics of all of my platforms, more than 50% of the individuals that listen to my videos, watch my videos, follow me on Facebook, I'm somewhere between 70 and 80% women, and I am 45 years and older. That's more than half. There's a big section of my folks that listen to my videos are 65 and older. Now, let's talk about this. What's happening to people? Are you so busy you can't listen to things anymore? Now, here's the thing. Now, you're going to be like, she's popping off. She's mad at her followers. No, I'm not. My followers are awesome. The majority of these people are probably not my followers, but I think this is worth mentioning because I'm going to give you permission in this video. You need to hear this. You don't need permission from me from anything, but I can feel this in people's stirring souls right now. We're at a point where if people are not willing to listen and communicate and be proactive and be adults and take care of themselves, it is not your problem anymore. It's not my problem either, and I'm not going to make it my problem. Sorry. So if people don't like that, then they need to not be your friend. They don't need to be my friend. They don't need to be a follower. They're not followers, actually. A lot of times these are people that just want to stir. They're just a stir. I recognize that. But here's what I'm saying to you. I've been thinking about 2 or 3 different things. There are a lot of people right now that have been sitting back going, I'm going to spend my money how I want to. You're crazy. So-and-so is going to fix this. And they're standing around with their thumb up their butt today, realizing they have just goofed and been really silly, stupid, especially over the last 5 years. It's not your problem anymore, now is it? No, stop, cut it off. I've cut it off. Here's what I've done today, and I'm going to continue to. I am making sure that I am having my final conversations because I'm this way. Women tend to be this way more than men. Sorry, guys, it's true. Women like to give things more opportunity for a chance or communication than men do in a lot of cases. So I am making sure that I'm telling all of my boys, you're an adult. You want to be treated like an adult? Okay. Keep working. Keep saving. Don't be stupid with your money. If you choose to, I'm not bailing you out. All these other people that I have sat and called and texted or tried to talk reason with or whatever over the past 5-6 years in terms of you better be prepared, try to be debt free, have a pantry, pay off this. And some of them listened, some of them didn't. And I'm not talking to them anymore. I'm praying for them. If they want to come to me and ask for advice, sure. Those days are over. We're moving forward. We have to choose every single individual, no matter who they are, where they come from. They have to go, doesn't matter how I was raised, don't matter what my mama did to me, don't matter if my husband left me, don't matter. I've got these circumstances, but I have to deal with these things emotionally, physically, financially, whatever that is. I agree with you. But at the same time, you have to take control and go, okay, just because my mom said something bad to me when I was 21 and I can't get over it, doesn't mean that I need to go sit and eat an entire gallon of ice cream today. That's a choice on your part. Sorry, it is. I have these demons just like you do. And we have to be responsible and go, what am I going to do about this today? So here's the bottom line. I'm not repeating to anybody anything that I said on that video on Sunday. If you don't understand it, I can't help you there either. If you can't look around and see that things are happening to us environmentally, I can't convince you, and I'm not going to try. Okay? I mean, sometimes you're just going to have to walk your valley to understand what's going on. If you can't look up in the sky at given on certain, you won't admit it. Some people just don't want to admit stuff. I don't understand it. It's like, that's not being political one way or another. It's calling it what it is. There are things that are going on that I don't agree with. And some of you are going to say, ha ha ha, I thought your Trumper was going to fix that. Well, I hope he does. But see, I've got enough common sense to go, okay, that's not something that gets fixed overnight. Okay? 6 months to a year, I haven't seen something. Yeah, I got a bone to pick. I agree with that. I'll go that far with you. Totally agree. By the way, a friend of mine texted me this morning from north of Georgia, and 18 eggs at Costco is $4.86. If that's a text. It's not $5.86. I think it was $4.86. I'll put it down here in the bottom, the exact number, if I'm wrong. But so, hey, I was like, dang, prices are coming down. See, you got to give some things some time. Let's hope that trend continues. But at the same time, don't get so sprung out that you don't listen, you don't pay attention. You're supposed to be, remember back in the days where we took notes, and if you didn't show up for class and you didn't listen, you didn't take notes, and whatever, your friend might help you one good time with sharing her notes or whatever, but then she gets over you too, or he got over you too, because you're just the slacky that didn't show up and didn't listen, and they're not going to waste their time with you. People aren't going to waste their time. So all of these individuals that are purposely choosing to not act like an adult, listen, pay attention, take care of themselves, pay off debt, try to prepare, and it's not a one-size-fits-all. Everybody's going to come up with an excuse as to why they can't do something today, and I'm going to come back with a reality of why you can. There is always something you can do to better your situation. May not be much, but at least it is something. And we've gotten to a point where people they think someone else is going to take care of them. I'm not going to show up to class today, or I'm not going to take notes. I'm not going to read the 5 chapters. I'm not going to do these things. And when I fail the test, it's the teacher's fault. That's all. No, you'd be kicked out of my class. Just like I tell people, you don't want to listen, you don't want to be an adult, you don't want to be decent regardless, then we don't want you here. We make you go. We make you go. I don't have to tolerate that. You, in your life, with whatever you're doing with your family, friends, children, community, politicians, there's a lot of things. You don't need to tolerate that either. See, people don't want to be held accountable, and they think that there's this other portion of life of people out here that are supposed to work like mules, get kicked like a mule, and are supposed to pay for everything. No, we're not. We should not. So this is the end game of misinformation meets massive confusion, deception, all of these things, like everybody thinks that they're supposed to be coddled and held up and fed and all of these things. That was not the life of your great-great-grandparents. No, if they didn't work and do and go and make good decisions, whatever, they died. They typically died. Had a very short life in a lot of ways. Many of them did. That's why they tried to be more responsible. That's why they tried to do more on their own. They didn't know anything different. But see, that's not society anymore. So 99% of you that watch that video, you're like, wow, holy crap, what's going on? Yeah, wow, holy crap, what's going on? Some things, if you continue to listen to that video, all that it is pointing out to you is to pay attention and to think and to question. That's a problem these days now, isn't it? And we wonder why half of society is backwards. And we wonder why our children in the American public school system can't read. We got kids graduating from school, and it's not just one district here or one district there. We have an epidemic of Dummyville, and it's deliberate. And it's bled over into who should be adults and people that are even older than me. I made a video about this. I don't remember the year, but I remember where I was, which was on my older farm. And that has to be, I know it's prior to 2020, probably around 2018, 17, 18. I talked about this, how all of a sudden it's like, what has happened to people my age and even older? Social media, has it poisoned the mind so hard that people are trying so hard? I don't know. But here's what I do know. It ain't my problem, and it ain't your problem. And if people are being dummies, shuck them like corn and move on. Have your final say if you feel you need to on here's where the world is, here's what you need to do. I love you, I'm praying for you. Be responsible, good luck, and wash your hands of it like I did the other day. Got that floating mud off my hands. And moved on with it. You're going to have to move on with it. As far as all of the stuff here, I'm paying very close attention. I hope you are too. If I need to collect something and have it tested, or if I need to continue to test things like we already do here, then I will continue to do so. Just want to update you on that, okay? Okay? We do the things because we're paying attention, okay? I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Is this a little bit harsh? It's not intended to be. It's just blunt. At what point are we going to get back to the reality of we can openly discuss things and not get butthurt all the time? I don't think we're ever going to get back to that. So for those of us that still have that ability, whether it be generational, whether it be where we were raised and who raised us, or whatever that is, I mean, what is the reality here? We're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep doing that. I love you. I do. I love you more than you know. And you need to keep doing the things, folks. And if you need to cut, I'm not saying to cut people off to the point where you're not nice to them and don't talk to them and whatever, but have your final say. Have your final say. If people cannot see what's happening by now, honey, only Jesus can save them. Step back and pray. I love you. Like, subscribe, and share. Pray, prep, and be peaceful. And I will see you guys, guaranteed, honey, on the next video.